I think most of us, Brian, understand we're going to owe taxes on much of the money we've saved for retirement, but we don't always appreciate how much those taxes can be. Kiplinger says tweaking where we invest and how we pull our money out can make a notable difference. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the distribution plan is everything, which it's different than saving. Like you're in the accumulation phase, right? You check the box on your 401k. You've got, 20% going in of your paycheck maybe, or 10%, whatever. Hopefully it's 20%. And you check this mutual fund, small cap mutual fund, and you pick the Vanguard
and
whatever.
Mid cap and whatever.
Mid cap and the large cap, and
Yep.
you're like, pretty diversified. The 401k guide told me to do that.
Yeah.
And you let it rip. And you just keep on doing that for years and years and years, especially somebody like you that's worked at the same company for a long time. You just kind of check it once in a while. Oh, cool, went up. Oh, went down. And you...
That is me to a T, man.
I know.
It is,
I know you well enough. But now it's like, okay, so you're 64 years old and you're going, man, I really got to start making some big decisions. Like, where are we going to get an income from? I mean, where's our paycheck from? I know Social Security's going to pay us $2,500, and my wife's working still part-time, making $25, but that's not enough to live the same lifestyle.
Buddy, I got 12 years to not have to worry about that.
Yeah, right.
When I'm 64, I'll come to you and go, what do I do?
The day before, I've saved $50,000.
Yeah.
How can you make me retire?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can. We can give you a check for $50 a month for the rest of your life.
There you go.
So we have to really kind of sit back and go, let's look at taxes. Why do we want to talk about taxes? Because it's a big part. We had a client come in that had $1 million. This is years ago. They've been with us for, 7 years now. They came in, most of their money was all pre-tax, about $1 million in pre-tax accounts. They had other money elsewhere in real estate.
Meaning like 401k. And
Well, other money meaning, so there was all pre-tax meaning 401k or traditional IRA, right? It's never been taxed. They had other money after tax money, like, money they'd already paid tax on. It was invested, a few $100,000. And they said, well, gosh, why are you always talking about taxes? I don't understand. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket when in retirement. I was like, okay, well, let's look at it. So we project out our software and said, okay, assuming nothing changes, government doesn't increase taxes. I know, that's funny, isn't it? You should have been laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Government's not going to raise taxes, and we're just going to leave everything the same, and we're keeping your lifestyle the same. I mean, they're driving 15-year-old cars. I mean, they're penny. In fact, she said, he's like, he's cheap. And he's like, well, you're frugal. That was their argument. The only one they did in front of me, And, but they still don't spend any money. So it's not like they're spending.
They're going to have to in a couple of years if they got 15-year-old cars.
Right. Yeah, they are. But what I'm saying is that when we project it out over their lifetime, assuming they retired, forget what age it was they wanted to retire, 64, 65. Anyways, the point is when we went out to age 90, and they had longevity. That's why we went out that far. I mean, mom and dad from both sides had lived
112.
Yeah, it was like 95. So I was being pretty conservative. It was $1 million in taxes.
Oh, wow.
In retirement that they were going to pay. And you sit back and go, should I pay attention to that? I mean, this was years and years ago. And I'm going, should we really pay attention and focus on this for our clients if they're going to pay $1 million in taxes? And they were like, are you sure? I said, print it off. Go hand it to your CPA over there in Lynchburg. You said you like them. I mean, they're going to find out if the numbers are right.
Yeah.
Here's the report. It's a 70-page report, and they didn't take it to their CPA, but he's a pretty intelligent guy and went through it himself and added up. I spent hours on this, Brian, because I thought you were full of it. And he comes back and he goes, you're right. That's crazy. And that's at like a 22% tax bracket. I mean, we're not talking he's in the top. A lot of people are like, oh, he's probably an attorney making $1 million a year. No. Between the two of them, maybe 170, 180,000 currently. And so now it's funny. They have officially retired, and we've got this drop in income. And now I'm talking about keeping their income the same. And they're like, but Brian, I don't want to pay any tax. I'm like, remember the conversation we had years and years ago?
Yeah.
That this is the day we've been waiting for. You came to us to invest and get your plan together, and we set up a revocable living trust, so your estate plan's in order. We redid a bunch of insurances, got rid of a bunch of junk they didn't need anymore. We put the properties they have in the trust, so that the assets are funded in case they died tomorrow. Their kids are going to inherit it and not have to deal with attorneys at $500 an hour. or whatever, right? It was like we got their whole plan set up, but one of the big important parts was a tax plan. So their income from went 170,000 down to like 30. Well, let's take the opportunity to shift this over and do it every year. So it's called partial Roth drawdown strategy. And the idea is your income's dropping, but let's fill that bucket up to 22%. You're used to paying the tax already anyway, so we're not telling you should pay more tax. But what we're telling you is you're going to get more tax-free income in retirement because they don't need all the income from this asset, right? They don't need it from an IRA. They would rather it be tax-free. So when we started running the estimates back in the day and saying, this is what we'll do, it was in the neighborhood of like $400,000 in tax savings over their lifetime by doing this strategy. Well, their assets have grown.
That's a lot of money. That's close to $500,000.
It's a lot.
That's real money.
But it's over a long period of time, right?
Yeah.
And it really gets better as you get older because the RMDs that they don't need increase the required minimum distribution, right? Yeah. So that is where the real savings is. Because let's say the RMD is, let's say they need to take $60,000. Well, what if they only need to take 20? Well, they have to pay tax on the difference, right? So that $40,000. They got to pay tax. They're paying $13,000 to $15,000 extra because they didn't do any planning.
Wow.
And they had a Wells Fargo guy that was helping them along, and he was investing in some good mutual funds or whatever, but he never talked about tax. And they finally asked him when they came to me the first time, like, how come you don't talk about tax? We need help. I mean, we had another planner point out that we're going to owe $1 million in taxes over a lifetime, and you never mentioned. He goes, I can't. I'm actually not allowed to. I can't even mention it. I can tell you to go to your CPA. So they went to the CPA. The CPA goes, well, I don't really have your investment assets. I don't have the tools to figure that out. Like, because we're putting every single position they owned at Wells Fargo in there. We put, the stock, the mutual fund, the Vanguard funds, and we put it all in there and project it out. So the CPA can't help, and their financial advisor that was charging them about $13,000 a year in fees to manage their assets. Who's supposed to help them? Brett, can you help me? Who is supposed to help them with solving all these puzzles, right?
Yeah,
well, it's a good independent financial planner out there that can actually look at all those areas and give them advice, and so, that's why we, a lot of times we're telling people like, look, maybe not be a fit for us. We'll help you as much as we can, and try to give you as much. If we can't help you, we'll give you the names of a couple people that can help you.
It's called SOS, the Second Opinion Service. Want to get a second opinion? Just talk to Brian. He may give you something that you can take back to your financial planner and help out. 866-2-PLAN-4 is the number to call. 866-TO-PLAN and the number 4.